The game shop has released the new FAQ about Age of Sigmar 4th edition Skaventide, the 29 April 2026. Technically, this is the third tranche related about FAQs. The first one, it was at the beginning of April, but it was the delayed version of the March one. Then we had the ones at the middle of April that were related about the Battletome of Skaven with the Clan Eshin supplement. And about these ones, if you're interested, you can find in the description the links related about those videos. Then we have these ones. About this, we had the Skaventide, Ossiarch Bonereapers, and Silvernet update that we see better later when we go to analyze the Roost update. Then we had the Blackwind Roosters that it's about the Path to Glory. And okay, it's a way to match them, so it's not bad, it's a good referral. Then we had the update about the Universal Manifestation that is simply including what we've seen in the previous ones and here completed. Same for the Spearhead Night Out that it's updated. And then we go to see about the Roost updates. Remember that I'll bring up only about the new facts, so I'll focus only on those ones, so that if you're interested about the previous facts, you can see the links in the description so that you can search the one that you're interested about, and you know each time which one has been updated as facts. So we go to see. So let's start. And as you can see, the document itself, it's named related about being April end 2026, so that you can have for sure when it's going to be applied. So now that we had this one, we go to see about the changes. The first thing that we see, it's about the faction pack with the removal about the Errata for the Dot of Skin and the Suppleent, because has been released both the Battletome for both the faction, so they were outdated and there was due to remove about them, those ones. So we can see that these armies have been removed about the faction pack because they are now official Battletome. And another thing to remember is that there is also the remove about those facts for these armies, so that they are not anymore useful, so they are not anymore to be used as a referral. So it's simply due, and I love such thing because it's a way to understand even what has been removed, not like Warhammer 40k. And I still hope that in Warhammer 40k with the new edition to be like for us, so that we can see what has been changed and not to have to every time guess or see side by side the documents to understand the change that has been brought. So I really quite love such type of developing about the facts for Age of Sigmar. Then we had updates about the Skaventide for the Ossiarch Bonereapers and the Suppleent. About the Ossiarch Bonereapers has been changed the part about the Mortal Guard, its ability. It has been removed a keyword and its monsters. And sincerely, I don't understand why. Maybe to justify that fact that they cost less than the normal version and the fact are quite similar. Okay, but still, the only ones that are going to be affected are the Gods Harvester, because the War Machines are improved as number, and the Gods Harvester are the only ones that are single one. Okay, and moreover, it's only a single Gods Harvester. Sincerely, I don't understand completely why, but okay. Sincerely, I think that anyway, losing also that keyword, anyway, you're going to use the normal version. And then about the Suppleent that I've seen some change about the battle formation, the abilities, so for both the Stealing Life and the Duskbook, and for the Artifact Power. Sincerely, not playing the Suppleent, I can't understand if they're really quite a good change, so I leave to the Suppleent players to understand and eventually tell me if it's an improvement or something that it's a messy thing because they had some adjustment bad. Okay, so pay attention about such changes. Then we move to the Battletome section, and we can start with the Battletome of the Illuminate Realm Lord. Here we have two facts, one related about the Unbinding, that it's about timing to activate an ability. Okay, it's quite plausible, but okay, it's simply to clarify eventually. And one that is about how it works the first strike. Okay, still something that I can't understand completely why it should be specified, but okay, you take note if you are interested about. And then we had one change about the Makoto on Argo, again, a fuck, that it's related about being affecting units that are in reserve, and usually you can't do other than specifically specified. So, okay, if you had to avoid any misunderstanding still, you really needed to ask about this. Okay, Still, pay attention because now you know that you can do what you thought that maybe you would have been able to, so pay attention. And then we have the Battletome Ossiarch Bonereapers that see new errata and facts. Sincerely, I hoped to have finally the perfect Battletome, because at the beginning of April with the facts, we didn't have a new fact errata about the Battletome Ossiarch Bonereapers, so it was a joke a little about. It was obvious that something would have been corrected. Still, it was a hope, okay. So let's go to see about the changing. The first one, it's about the heroic traits Imperious Will that has seen a part of sentence added to the last sentence of the ability. So this unit can use this ability more than once per phase, but only once per fight ability. At the beginning, I thought that it was a mess, and sincerely, it was not explained so quite good. But anyway, it's a way to make that each time that you activate against the unit that you are going to apply the fight ability, okay, you can't activate only once, so that you can't activate this once multiple times, but only once per fight ability. So it's okay, it's understandable. It's I think that it was also clear before, but now it's clear, so understandable. You have only to reread a bit of times. Then about the Mortar Guard, and sincerely here, I think that they would have better to leave as it was, not make such a rata, because the part of the test that has been added, it's the same that it's in the part about the reaction. So it's sort of repeating something that it was yet written. So, okay, sincerely this could have been avoided. Then we go about the facts. We can start with Mortian with the voice of Nagash, and here create quite a lot of things to specify. Okay, so this could be really cutting and added directly on the Battletome, because it changed a bit the way that it works. Okay, so anyway, the ability work, but against only active abilities. So the target of the voice of Nagash will still affected by passive non-core abilities. So it means that you can you can't activate, but you can't subsee being subjected. Okay. In addition, it can be picked as target by affected by non-core abilities by the manifestation, and it's really quite strange. But at the same time, manifestation are unit and no unit of the opponent, so it's a bit of middle stage. Terrain, okay, this eventually it's understandable, and the unit itself, obviously, because it's a to the other units, not itself, or the player, because technically it's a supervisor. Okay, understandable. The target could not be picked as target or affected by non-core ability that affect it for the rest of the turn, and any persistent effect from a non-core ability that already affecting the target will temporarily cease to affect on it. Sincerely, okay, it means that if it was yet affected that territory, you can make them suspended, so they not finish to work, but they be ended in that way, or better, suspended. So if they are continuing, they can be replenished when the effect of the voice of Nagash end. Otherwise, it's a way to interrupt them, so not bad. Then about if a unit or Martech T-axis doesn't have any baleful base files next to it, can it use the custom flame ability? And it say no. And sincerely, here it's okay, but it was obvious because you can activate an ability only if you have those things. So if you don't have, you can't activate. It's obvious in some way, okay, but still needed. And then there is another one written about the Balefire Braziers. So what happens to a friendly Balefire Braziers that is next to an enemy unit when that enemy unit is destroyed? Here it's important because it's a question that I myself asked, because I was really quite curious about, and they say that the Balefire Braziers is removed from the battlefield and is no longer used in battle. Here it's really quite important, because it means that you have a limited number of the ways that you can use the Balefire Braziers. Eventually, remember that you have the option that you can replenish those Balefire if that unit is healed. In that way, it make the Balefire Braziers come back to the T-axis unit, and then you can use the ability about the Atavistis Nightmares to have it replenished. So it's okay. Sincerely, I think that it was nice, but at least now we know for sure what happened when you finished the ones. And remember, anyway, that you have 2 normally for 10 unit model and 4 for a 20 unit model, so it's difficult to end them. Okay. Then, when a Mortis Reapers unit will use its Necro Cage ability, but A1 is rolled on the D3, so remember that it's do the D3 mortal damage eventually, can it still move of 6 inch? Yes, because the Necro Cage ability, the damage and the moves are separate part of the effect. Sincerely, this it was needed, because it was understandable, but at the same time it was not so sure. So with these facts, it's a good clarifying how it works. So it means that you can do or not do the damage, but can still move. So you are more certain about how it works, because it was not so certain about how it was written, because it seemed that it was more consequential that it is by this facts. So I think that it's really quite good that has been clarified in such a way. Then we have something new also about the Battletome Skaven. Okay, we have a new fact that is it about can a mutated menagerie help it abomination that is picked as the target of rampaging demise ability avoid being destroyed? I say yes. Sincerely, I think that is strange, not because there is such a fact, but because how ancient, how old it's the Battletome of the Skaven, and still there is something that it's found out. Okay, anyway, pay attention because it can avoid something really quite horrible for your Helpit Abomination eventually. So I think that it's if you're going to play the Scam and the Helpit Abomination, be clear about such fact. So what to say about such facts? Sincerely, I think that it was useful, moreover, because it's related about the Ossiarch Bonereapers. So okay, you know that I'm quite sided about this thing. Still, I think that they are really quite interesting. And I'm quite curious to know about if you are interested about the facts that has been listed, you were waiting for them, or simply you are okay because they have not touched anything. And Age of Sigmar, I have to admit that it's really quite stable. I quite like how it has been done this edition because it's something that it's a solid game with few changes and really some small adjustments. So I'm quite satisfied about such things. So tell me what you think about. Anyway, from deynonmod it's everything. I invite you to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell so to receive notification about new video, to comment under here about this video, or if you want to suggest me new videos. So I hope to see you again to the next time.